Hello and welcome to Wisdom Bites. Hope you're well. Thank you once again for joining us. Very much appreciated. And in today's video, I'm going to take a look back at some of the signs that I've been showing you over the last few months since Bitcoin bottomed out at 15,400. And if you still aren't convinced that the bottom is in, then I'm going to ask you to think again. I'm also going to have a look at the 60-day cycle to show exactly where we are and where is the likely direction of travel for the Bitcoin price over the next few days and weeks. And finally, many people have asked me to do altcoins, and they've been waiting for the altcoin season to start. And I'm going to show you in this video why I am no longer interested in the altcoins and why the alternative to the altcoins is far, far superior. So if that sounds interesting, then without further ado, get yourself a cup of tea, sit yourself down, just relax, eyes on the screen, and let's get cracking. Okay, before I begin, the usual polite reminder, please remember everything in my videos is just for educational purposes, so please always do your wider research before you make any investment decisions. So with that out of the way, I'm going to start off with one of the main indicators over the last 12 years, which has predicted with absolute accuracy, 100%, the start of a new bull market or a new rally over those 12 years. What am I talking about? Of course, I'm talking about the hash ribbons on the weekly chart. They have never ever let us down. And if you have a look at the history of these ribbons, the first one was here in January 2012, and that was the start of a massive bull run up to the top here. And in between, it gave us so many more signals, a couple more here. And once again, at the end of that bear market over here, we got these hash ribbon signals, which was the mark of the start of the next bull run. And then that was followed by the bear market. And once again, the hash ribbons came to our rescue. And that was the start of the next bull run, all the way up to the 2021 November top at 69,000. And in between, look at how many more signals we got right to the end here. And as I showed you at the bottom of this market here at 15,400, I showed you this signal that once again the hash ribbons are signaling that we're on our way back to the top for the next bull market. Still not convinced? And in recent weeks I've been showing you the exponential moving averages from the start, when the averages started showing up as being a very key signal in determining the start of a bull run. So what we got here was the blue line here, the 8 exponential moving average, the 21, which is the yellow line, and 34 exponential moving average, the white line. So when they come in order, in that order of the 8, 21 and 34, that is a sure sign of the start of a new bull market at the end of a bear market. And we got this here in 2012, which led to this big move all the way up to the end of that cycle in November 2013. Similar thing happened here at the end of the bear market in 2013-14. We got the same signs once again, the 8, the 21 and the 34 all lined up in that order, and that led to the next bull market all the way up to the 2017 December, when we actually topped out at 20,000, as you can see here, all the way up to the 20,000 in December 2017. And the last cycle, once again, the bear market in 2018-19, the exponential moving averages all lining up perfectly here, and that was the start of the new bull market up to November 2021 here. And currently, we've just done exactly the same now with the 8, the 21 and the 34 just about to line up. In the last video that I did, I showed you that the yellow, the 21, was just about to go above the white line, the 34. So we are now at the start of the confirmation of the bull market for the next 2 to 3 years. Still not convinced? Well, let me show you something else. In recent weeks, I've been showing you the RSI and the 21 simple moving average on the monthly chart. As you can see, once the RSI rises above the 50% mark, that is when the fireworks normally start for a rally to the upside here. Then after this first bear market that we got, the price came back below the 21 simple moving average on the monthly chart, came back below the 50 level on the RSI, but once it recaptured the 21 simple moving average and the 50% on the RSI, that's when the fireworks began again over here to the top in 2017. Once again, another bear market, price going below the 21 simple moving average. Same here, below the 50% on the RSI. But once we captured it again on the RSI and the 21 simple moving average, that was the beginning of the fireworks for the top in November 2021. And recently I showed you that we've now just gone above the 50% on the RSI, and we're now on the verge of going above the 21 simple moving average. It's just proving a resistance point at the moment here, but it's only a matter of time. And once again, these two indicators are proving extremely powerful in terms of indicating the start of the next run to the upside. And if you're still not convinced, look at the 12-day chart, which I've shown you in the last few weeks once again. And these crosses on the 12-day chart, we've only just crossed over for only the 4th time in the last 12 years. The first time was back here in 2015, and that led to this bull market over here. The second one led to this bull market recently. And in the middle of that, after the COVID situation, we got another sign here, which was another signal to go to the upside. And now we've got another one just in the last few days that this is another sign that we're now on our way to the next bull market top. And the Gaussian channel over here on the 5-day chart, this is a chart that the Crypto Crew University uses very often. So a good shout out to him, because it really is very, very accurate. And if we go back to 2012, we had this mini bear market. We got into this red channel over here for a considerable period of time. But once we got above it, after the red channel here, that was a signal to go to the top. Then at the end of the 2013 cycle over here, once again, we got into the bear market, got the red channel all the way along here. And then once we got above the red channel, that was our sure signal to go back all the way to the top again here. That went all the way to the top in 2017. And after the second cycle here in 2018, exactly the same thing happened one more time. We had the bear market, the red channel, got above the red channel here. That was the start of the next bull market. And you have to ignore the COVID situation over here. And that brings us to the current cycle now. So we topped out in November 2021 at 69,000. We came to this bear market. The red channel followed as usual, and now we're well above the red channel, waiting for the next bull market here. And finally, my favorite indicator, the pi cycle bottom here. Okay, I'm looking at the pi cycle bottom on the weekly chart. So with the green line, the 111 simple moving average, i.e. the faster moving average, and the red line, which is the 350 simple moving average, the slower moving average that is. When these cross, that is the signal for the end of the bear market. So in 2013, we had this bear market. The green line crossed the red line over here. And look what happened. The price action just rode it all the way to the top of the next cycle here. Similarly, the bear market here, the green line crossed the red line over here. And once again, the price just rode it all the way up to the first top at 64,000 and then the next top at 69,000. And you can see quite clearly here that we have just crossed over that line now in the last few weeks. So the green line has crossed over the red line one more time, and the price action has just started moving to the upside. So we now have about 2 to 3 years of, hopefully, if the charts are to be believed historically, then this is what it should happen here for the next 2 to 3 years. Okay, moving on to the 60-day cycle, I just want to show you something interesting. And that is that if you look at the price action in the current cycle over here, it seems to be following a very similar pattern to the previous cycle over here. So when we got to the midpoint here in January this year, we'd just made a higher high from the previous high before the midpoint. But that was followed by a small correction over here and a move to the next resistant point here, which created another higher high from these 2 points. So we had a right translated cycle. And then we had the big fall into the 60-day cycle red line over here. And that ended the cycle after 70 days from the beginning over here. Now something similar seems to have been happening in the current cycle. This is the midpoint of the current cycle. We've just made a higher high from the previous high over here, just like in the previous cycle. And it may be that just like we had a mini correction over here to the bottom, we may have a mini correction down to these levels shortly. However, that may give rise to the run up to the next resistant point, which would be around the $32,000, $33,000 mark here. So we may do a similar thing before coming into the 60-day cycle low, possibly down to 25,200. So only time will tell, but it seems to be a remarkable similarity with the current cycle compared to the previous cycle. And if we have a look at the candlestick developments over here, it looks like that there is a certain amount of resistance to the upside taking place here with the candlestick patterns as they're developing. So this is the midpoint of this cycle, and on Friday we got this high wave spinning top candle over here. And the reason why this is significant is because if we have a look at what this means, like it says here, these types of candlesticks indicate indecision and subsequent consolidation. And they're usually found at the top of a bull run. So what we need to do is put a ray at the top of this wick and one at the bottom of this wick. And currently, this is the current candle on the daily chart. We're just breaking the bottom of this range here. Obviously, we'll have to wait until the end of the day for it to see whether we close here or not, because it could quite easily wick back up into this range one more time. In my opinion, I think this is what we will more than likely do. Come back here and just consolidate for quite a while before making a decision to either break to the upside or downside. But because this is at the top of a rally over here, there is a much greater bias to the downside to have a correction, a little bit like the previous cycle, before we bottom out and then go back up and actually test the 32-33 level over here, and then move into the 60-day cycle low over here, this red line. So only time will tell. A very important development with the candlestick patterns that we can see quite clearly within this range. Having said that, if you look at the weekly chart, the weekly candle just closed last night over here, and you can see that it's actually broken above the neckline of the previous candles, and this is extremely bullish. So what this is telling me is that we may have a temporary consolidation over here. However, the direction of travel is still to the upside, and we may get a very big pump in the next few weeks, more to this line over here, around about the 36,000 mark. So look out for that. Very, very important. This candle has really changed quite a lot of this, because the consolidation over here has actually broken up to the upside, and that's usually a sign that we're going to go much higher. Okay, moving on to the comments in the sections from the last few weeks. People in the comments asked me many times to cover the altcoins, and I did actually hold some altcoins in the last bull market, and I went through some of the charts at the time, but I noticed that the Bitcoin miners outperformed all my altcoins by a huge margin. So this time around, I decided to go only with the Bitcoin miners, and as a result I've set up a private Bitcoin miners club which is rapidly growing in numbers at the moment. Let me give you a comparison between the altcoins and the miners here. So one of the main altcoins that I had, and a lot of people had, was Cardano, and currently when it bottomed out over here at around about the 23 cents, since then Cardano up to now has actually come up to at 82% from its bottom in December. And if you look at XRP, another very popular coin that a lot of people hold, from the bottom here in January to the current price over here at 51 cents, that's gone up by 71%. And NEO, which actually bottomed out in December, has actually come up to so far up to about 120%. So far these have in a ballpark figure matched Bitcoin, which has increased by about 93% here. Now compare that with Marathon Digital Holdings, from its bottom recently to the current price, 284%. Riot Platforms, another big miner, to the current price, 314%. And finally, Cypher, which has been the best performer of all of them, from its bottom to the current price, 660%. So you can see my reasoning that there is no point in covering the altcoins when there is a much faster horse called the Bitcoin miners. And this is why we've created the private Bitcoin miners club. For those of you who are interested in altcoins, maybe it's time to look at the Bitcoin miners, where we do special features of smaller miners with a huge potential for the next 2 to 3 years. And we also have a look at the swing trades on these miner companies like Marathon and Cypher, and possibly others in the future as well. We also do the normal up-to-date technical analysis of the different companies in that sector. So if that sounds interesting to you and you want to become a member, it's only $4.99 per month. and you can cancel at any time. There's no hassle, there's no contract, there's no obligation, etc. And it will open up a wonderful world of opportunities that exist with the Bitcoin miners for the next 2 to 3 years. And so far we've done about 9 videos here, and they're all available in this library on the members section of my channel. And obviously they're all available for all new members who join. And all you have to do is to actually click the join button over here below all of my videos. And if you're on a handheld device, there is also a link in the description box below all of my videos here. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you found value in the video. If you did, then please do remember to like and subscribe and to turn on the notification bell. And if you have any comments, questions or suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Until the next time, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.